Hello, HE703 students. My name is Sang Lee. I am currently pursuing my PhD degree here in international education. Um, I love endorsing Professor Schrump's class because for me, it basically set the stage for my academic journey. Back then, I was pursuing my master's degree, and it's no exaggeration that this particular class really allowed me to come up with a tool that I would use to graduate from my master's and now working on the PhD. It's going to play a vital role. So I would like to kind of show you how I ended up creating an app with no coding background, and I have prepared a couple of slides for you. So my research interest is in student involvement, and the class with Professor Schramm introduced the idea of gamification. And for me, because I love being on my phone, I thought of, okay, why don't we think about an app that allows students to to engage without having too much of a hassle? Because a lot of these apps that schools have are too nerdy or too bulky for me to use. So I wanted to just come up with something that I do on a regular basis and kind of put that into an education setting. So this whole Mason student activity app came up because I am an international student at George Mason University, and the growing population. So this back when I put the slides together in spring, it was at 8.1%. I think it's nearly 10% of our student body here at Mason. So it's only getting bigger, and I kind of ran into a big discrepancy between social expectation versus social reality, meaning that I thought of making all these friends when I go to the US. When I landed, I was a loner. So I wanted to just come up with something that is easy to use. And, since I was mainly interested in learning more about student involvement, I wanted to create a tool. So this looks fairly simple, but it took me many hours to at least learn how to do the coding work. But you can kind of see it here. But Bubble.io is a platform that I use because I have zero knowledge of HTML, JavaScript, CSS. I don't know any of those. But this platform allows me to drag and drop some of these commands that I would be typing, but they made it into buttons so that I can kind of create this app. So after a sign in or a sign up, then the students are encouraged to take selfies. So you can type on this, or you can press, and then it'll fire up your camera application, and then you can take a picture. Now, obviously, this was built pre-COVID, so it's asking you to take do a handshake, give a handshake to a classmate. So the idea was to create cultural tasks that involve students to take some encouragement. Right? They have to take courage to complete these tasks. And in order for you to be awarded with this point, you have to basically upload a selfie of you carrying out the task. And part of the gamification idea is to make it fun and engaging. So by having them accumulate these points, what I called MCP, Mason Courage Points, because it takes international students a huge amount of courage to carry out these tests. So Mason Courage Point, and with that Mason Courage Points, they can then redeem that with school prizes such as hoodies, backpacks, and so on. So they would upload this selfie and they'll submit it, and then it'll come up in history, and you can kind of pick the appropriate task that you want to complete at that point. So by then, I was basically coming to an end with the question of, hey, like, can you challenge yourself and come up with something that is completely unorthodox? And I ended up using this app to basically graduate from my master's program because My project was to build this app, enhance this app, and also come up with a manual for the student affairs professionals to use this app. Now, Mason currently has the Mason 360 app, which is a very easy and very engaging tool. It's just that it lacks the gamification tool. So, because of this and because of this class, I was able to put my input and opinion on the Mason 360 app at the development stage. As I said, I have zero coding knowledge, but because I had the idea of gamification from this class and this skeleton version of the app, I was able to participate in some of these important university level decision making process. So I hope you guys also take on this challenge to do something different. Go out of your ways to do something that you're not really comfortable with. And I am very sure that you're gonna end up with something that is beautiful and that is useful, and basically fuel you to complete this master's degree or the PhD degree that you're after. If you have any questions, my email is sl3, so Sang Lee, sl3 at gmu.edu. I had to keep this presentation very short, but if you have any questions about the platform or just in general, I will be more than happy to help out. Thank you very much for your time.